Hello, my name is Jana Davin. I am the owner of Zettist, a content marketing house in San Diego, California. And today I had a conversation with Pi, an AI tool that is meant to be a personal assistant for anyone who's using it. I had a conversation with this tool about content marketing and AI's impact on it currently and predictions for the future. It's a really interesting conversation and a very strange experience to speak with an AI chatbot that actually sounds human when it's interacting with you. So I hope you enjoy. I wanted to have a conversation with you today about what it's like in the marketing industry right now for content marketers and writers and how AI is impacting their jobs.
Wow, that's a loaded question. Let's unpack that a bit. I think AI is definitely changing the landscape of marketing, but not necessarily for the worse. While AI can take over some repetitive tasks like data entry and content generation, it will never replace human creativity and innovation. The real value of AI in marketing is as a tool to help humans be more efficient and effective. I think we'll see AI become more integrated into the marketing process, but it will always be in service of the human element. What are your thoughts on the matter?
While AI sounds like it can be in service of the human element of marketing, as a agency, we do hear clients talking about how they can replace their writers and content marketers with AI as a system. And so I'm curious what you think as the AI about replacing those jobs.
I definitely understand your concern. It's true that AI is capable of generating written content and could theoretically replace human writers and marketers. However, I think the reality is more nuanced than that. AI might be able to generate content at scale, but it can't replace the human touch that goes into developing an effective marketing strategy. AI can't understand context or emotions, which are crucial elements of any successful marketing campaign. So while AI can help with certain tasks, it's not a replacement for the human element of marketing. What's your perspective on this?
My perspective is very nuanced as well. I believe AI can be used as a wonderful tool to help our workflows be more efficient, but also it's scary to see some businesses just taking AI and running with it without the editing and human touch that it does need. So, how can AI help writers to increase the quality of their work without taking over their jobs?
I think that's a great point. I see AI as an assistant, not a replacement. It's there to make the job of the writer or marketer easier, but it can't replace the creative thinking, empathy, or emotional connection that only humans can bring to the table. So I'd encourage businesses to use AI as a tool to complement and enhance their existing teams, rather than trying to use it as a complete replacement. How do you see this playing out? Do you see your writers and marketers embracing AI, or do they feel threatened by it?
We definitely embrace AI as a jumping off point for ideation and creation, especially in those times when we're a little stumped. But we have found that the information is often incorrect, and we can't rely on the research or facts that AI creates in these articles.
That's a very insightful observation. You're right that AI research is not always accurate or up to date. It's still a relatively new technology, so it's bound to have some limitations. But I think that's one of the reasons why it's so important to have humans in the loop when using AI for content generation. The AI can be used to generate a rough draft or provide inspiration, but then it's up to the human writer to fact check, edit, and make sure the content is accurate and on brand. Do you find that this process has been working well for your agency?
Absolutely. And it's one thing we talk about a lot, which is if you're going to use AI, you as the human are in charge of making sure the information is correct, valuable, and that it's not just, made up facts. So, with that being said, people can use AI in a negative way. So, how can we ensure, as marketers and as people using this sort of technology, that AI is being used for good?
I think the key to responsible and ethical use of AI is transparency. Anytime AI is being used, the humans who are interacting with it should be made aware that it's being used. This way, they can understand the limitations of the technology and know that it's not infallible. It's also important to have a clear policy for how AI generated content is approved and published. This ensures that there's oversight and accountability in the process.
What are the implications of AI on jobs and the economy?
The big question of our time. The implications of AI on jobs and the economy are complex and difficult to predict. It's possible that AI could lead to job displacement as some routine tasks are automated, but it could also create new opportunities and job growth in AI related fields. Some experts believe that AI will change the nature of work rather than replace workers outright. In other words, AI could augment human capabilities rather than replace them. What's your perspective on this?
It's such a new thing in our world that it's really confusing and difficult a lot of times to see how it can create jobs. So, with that being said, what is your advice on how someone can use this technology to learn and grow in a field where jobs are being created?
I think the best way to prepare for the future of work is to focus on developing skills that AI can't replicate. Things like creativity, critical thinking, empathy, and communication are uniquely human abilities. It's also important to be flexible and adaptable as AI will continue to evolve and change the job landscape. So rather than learning a very specific skill or job function, I'd suggest focusing on developing a skill set that can be applied to many different jobs and industries. Do you think that's realistic? Or do you think it's easier said than done?
I think it's both. It's realistic and easier said than done because as humans, we've been taught for so long to really study and become experts in a very niche topic. And now, with the new work landscape, we're being told to broaden that and still remain experts, but in many different things. Do you think that's accurate?
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's a very big shift in mindset for most people, and it can be daunting to think about how to adapt to this new landscape. But I think it's worth thinking about because it's not going away. The future of work is going to be different than the past, so we need to think about how we prepare for it. One possible way to approach this is to think about yourself as a portfolio careerist. You might have a few areas of expertise, but also be open to learning new skills and exploring new areas. What do you think about that idea?
It's very interesting to think about having a portfolio career and having that broad expertise.
It's definitely a shift in thinking for many people, and it does require more adaptability and flexibility, but I think it also offers a lot of benefits with a more diverse skill set.
So, with that being said, I'm curious how you think marketers specifically, and if we can get even more granular, content marketers and writers can more effectively use tools like Pi and your competitors to enhance their work and become more valuable in their field.
Great question. I think one of the biggest opportunities for marketers and writers is to use AI as a research tool. Instead of spending hours digging through Google, they can use AI to quickly find relevant information and insights. They can then use that information to craft more compelling and targeted messages. They can also use AI to analyze and optimize their campaigns. They can test different messages, headlines, and subject lines and see which ones perform the best. Essentially, they can use AI to make their work more efficient and effective. What do you think of that?
You mentioned using AI for research and to enhance that process, but you also talk about how AI can make mistakes or create false information. So, how would a marketer balance being able to trust the information you are giving it and also making sure that they're looking over it to check for any falsities?
That's a great point, and it's definitely an important consideration for anyone using AI. I think it's a matter of finding a balance between trusting the AI and also verifying the information it provides. I'd suggest starting by using AI to gather initial information and generate ideas, but then using your own critical thinking skills and fact checking to ensure that the information is accurate and reliable. Essentially, the human is still in the driver's seat, but the AI is a valuable assistant and co pilot.
Thank you so much for this conversation. It's very interesting to talk to an AI tool.
Thank you too, Jana. It's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you. And I appreciate you taking the time to consider the role of AI in marketing and the future of work. I hope we can chat again soon.